Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to Phatkat Collections. Got another watch for you guys today, and this is a super unique one. And I told my coworker about this. We were talking watches the other day, and he's like, dude, it must be really unique if you're saying it's unique. Because I got like a 450 watches in my lineup. I've seen a lot. I'm always looking for watches, and this one is really unique. Which is pretty fun and exciting, right? I think it's once you have so many watches in your collection, you're always looking for something just really different. So this definitely fills that void. If you are a watch collector and looking for unique, this is it. This is from the future, right? So the brand name is, I have no idea how to say this, Mecexp. That's just, I'm going to start off with one negative. I don't like when companies make a watch names that the average person, like when you get this watch or you gift it, they're like, oh, Mecexp. You can't even say it, right? So maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe you're just supposed to say Mecexp. I'll reach out and find out, if there is a way to say this, but first off, I don't like that, right? Presentation's okay. We have just a standard black box. You guys know I never really get too involved in giving a crap about the box. You open it on up, you have a very basic interior, kind of like a light gray velour-like material, very fuzzy, big, huge pillow, and a second layer in this, which you pull the tabs and you expose the instruction manual underneath, and a charging cable, which actually I didn't know was in there. So you guys know when I get a watch, if you've been watching me for a while, pun intended, you guys know I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. I don't wait around. I rip the thing open, I slap it on the wrist, and then I start wearing it and showing it off, right? So when I got this, let me show you what it looks like. Very unique, from the future, absolutely. So, and let me give you a little backstory on how I discovered this brand. One of my subscribers, this is the cool thing about YouTube. One of my subscribers was like, hey, have you heard of this brand? Check them out. So normally I'll just, sometimes I forget, right? And so I instantly went during the live feed to the website and said, whoa, those are unique. Let me reach out, see if I can get one. Sure enough, I reached out to this company, and within a day, they got right back to me and said, we could definitely send you a watch. So kudos to this company. A lot of times when I reach out to a company, it might take a week for them to get back to me. So this is obviously a company that monitors their email closely, which means as a consumer, if you have a question, they're going to respond to you. So that, I think, says something, right? All right, so let's talk about this watch when I got it. So I knew it was going to be super unique. I knew this was going to be, all right, one of these watches that, and other companies do it, Nubeo, they're making very... just different ways of telling time, right? A lot of companies are getting away from your traditional 3 hands, right? This is from the future almost, right? And so I was pretty excited to get it. And what's interesting, when I got it, I slapped it on. I immediately, you guys know I never even set the time a lot of times. But in this case, I was like, okay, I'm going to wear this today. Let me set the time. So I'm trying to pull the crown out, and it's not moving. I was like, all right, I'm turning the crown. Nothing's happening. I'm like, what in the heck? And I flipped it over, and I see 2 charging ports right there. And this is a magnetic charging port, and that's when I opened the box and actually read the manual, and I discovered the magnetic charger. So this is what you'd find on most of your smartwatches nowadays. You just basically pop that on there. It charges with these 2 magnetic prongs. It doesn't stay on super well, but it doesn't have to. You're just going to put this on your dresser and charge it. It does not come with the power adapter, so it is a USB-C connection, which is great. But this is kind of something that bugs me with companies. If you're going to make something that comes with a charging cable, include the charger. It's a couple more dollars. Charge $5 more if you have to for the watch. So you will have to get one. If you do order this watch, be sure to order a USB-C wall charger so you can actually charge this sucker. Once you get it charged, then you have to set the watch. So this is where it gets kind of very unique, right? So pretty cool that you have an onboard battery, which is awesome. You don't have to worry about replacing the battery like most watches, or if it's automatic, winding it. So what you do with this is, once you get it charged, you press the crown 4 times. I want to demonstrate and watch what happens. Check this out. So it immediately goes into time setting mode. And on the bottom, it's set to, looks like it's either noon or midnight. It's probably noon. So what you do is you turn the crown. Whoops, you turn the crown, I'm trying to do this on camera here, backwards to change the time, and forward to change it back. Once you have the time set, or the hour set, you press it again, and you do the same with the minute hand. Now once you have it set, you press it again, It'll reset and then set to the time. Extremely cool, extremely innovative. It is backlit, so you go ahead and press the button once, and you have these really bright, cool, kind of white lights that illuminate the whole case or the whole face. Something to be said about that. One disappointment I have, seeing this, the illumination is just amazing, right? When you look at that, you're like, whoa, this thing is like super bright. But in complete darkness, at least the one that I got in the red, you can't even tell the time. So that might be because they use too dark of a red. I'm not really sure. I don't know if the other colors are better. They do make the same watch in a black case or the silver, this model, and you can get it either in red, green, or yellow. So the yellow will probably be the most legible, but I don't know how much more legible it's going to be, because when I cut my hand over this, even in broad daylight, and illuminate that light, you really can't see the numbers. And so it really defeats the purpose of this really awesome light. So it's kind of a disappointment, but not a big deal. You know me, I'm never really too concerned with being able to see the watch at night. We all have phones, so I don't think most people are going to care. But if you are buying this because of that really cool fact, then just know you're only going to be able to see the hour and minute markers on this, because they appear to have some kind of lume, or they're kind of like, I don't know if you can see in this video, they are notched in the middle. So either there's lume on there, or they're just notched so the light shines through, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. You can see how the light's shining through each marker. But again, you're not going to be able to make out the numbers. So if you kind of get used to middle being 6 o'clock and middle being 30, you can kind of guess the time. But kind of dumb, honestly, that they didn't like illuminate this better. It illuminates when I look at this in darkness, it definitely illuminates both windows extremely well. I mean, you can see it from this distance, but you just can't make out the numbers. And so what they should have done was, instead of making these actually like different colors, having red, they should just did, red stitching, yellow stitching, or black, or just made one variation. I don't think the color differences are so extreme that they really even had to waste their time. They could have made two different sets, a silver model or a black model, and then it would have, I don't know, but probably been cheaper on their manufacturing cost, and then make the numbers and minutes either clear, so they're backlit and you can really see them, or some kind of lume material that LED light will help to illuminate, right? Because right now it's kind of pointless. But again, putting that aside, under normal daylight conditions, it's awesome. We have a stainless steel case. It is what I believe to be CNC machined. It's got kind of like those curves or those grooves on the side. Kind of reminds me of a couple Aragon watches that did the same thing. Again, your charging ports on the back, nice stainless steel construction. Nice, what I call like a hybrid leather strap. It appears to be leather on the back side, and it's skinned with almost like this kind of faux, I don't know, kind of like, I'll call it carbon fiber. It's not. It's just kind of like a texturized rubber almost. And you can see you got the red stitching. Nice buckle on here. See if we can get this to focus in. Signed, of course, with the company brand. So let's talk about the specifications of what they say on their site. So you get the charging cable, the watch, and the instruction book. The watch case is stainless steel. It doesn't specify 316, but it probably is. Watch case 48 millimeters by 38 by 14.5 millimeters thick, and the strap is 120 millimeters long. It says long strap 120, short strap 80. I think they mean the smaller side is 80 and the longer size is 120. And it just says, and this is the model on this one is the MS1001. It blends mechanical artistry, optical tracking, and digital programming in self-developed movement. The watch boasts unique timekeeping, innovative design, and exquisite appearance. I agree with that, absolutely. One thing that's a little confusing as well is it says on what would normally be the 6 o'clock position, flyback. And I don't understand what that even means. The watch's name, the model is the MS1001. Why it says flyback without any description as to what that actually means is a little bit disappointing, because as watch collectors, I think we tell people, we show these watches off, we talk about them, and it's just kind of weird they don't have a lot of information on here. As a watch collector, you just want more information. But they do have a little bit of information. So let me read you that. A 270 milliamp battery, CNC motor driving. The strap is, it says here, nylon and leather, and then floral rubber. They do make two options. You can get the diver style, which is a floral rubber type material, and this one is a combination hybrid nylon and leather. It does have a sapphire crystal. Case lug 22 millimeter, strap lug 20 millimeters, and that's about the only information. No information about the movement, which is something they've developed, so they don't really go into that, but I think they should have. You know, it's so unique and innovative. I think it would have been kind of cool to know more about the movement, how they developed it, et cetera, et cetera. But overall, it's an extremely cool watch with, despite my, you know, I always critique watches and let you folks know what I think they can improve upon. And, you know, companies should be open-minded to that, because when they make improvements for the next model, these are legitimate things people are going to ask. Like, why bother putting in so many LED lights to make this glow so well when you can't even read the time? So again, if you're looking for a watch, I don't want you to buy this and then say, oh man, I'm super excited about this super well-lit watch so I can see this at night. In my opinion, you're not going to be able to see this very well at night. So really buy this for daytime usage. And that LED light, you know, it's just kind of a cool factor, right? You're just going to be like, hey guys, check out my new watch, and you're going to press that button and it's going to look really cool. But other than that, you know, and it does, when you hit the button, it does, I'll show you here, you can see how awesome it illuminates, like the movement and these are almost like screws. They look like springs, but there's like a screw type. Maybe it's wound to the spring as well. Probably is. It's like 2 bars in there. It also has an indicator here, and it's really difficult to see right near the 12 o'clock position. Let me get a little screwdriver here and kind of point this out. It has right at this location here, there is a little power indicator. It is so small. If I didn't read about it in the manual, I wouldn't even have known that it was there. But it does have a power indicator. It looks like it goes from empty to full, just like a gas gauge. And I had this on here for about half an hour, and it did move a little bit. I have not fully charged it yet, which I am going to do, and give it a nice full charge and see if that actually changes, which it should. But overall, it's a very cool watch. If you're looking for something if you're kind of a techie guy and looking for something that's a little bit outside the box, a little bit unique, and really easy to tell time as well, not at night, but this is definitely give this a go. So let me slap it on the wrist here. Now, I am 5'8", I weigh 183 pounds, and I got a 7-inch wrist, so this is what this watch is going to look like on a guy my size, my height, and my weight. Again, super unique. I kind of feel like this is going to be, you know, with the event, with smartwatches coming out, a lot of people wear those. Like, you either see people with everybody has a phone, right? I mean, we all know that. So watches aren't really a necessity anymore. They're more of like a fashion piece. And yes, I know they still tell time. I know that's the ultimate purpose, but most folks don't need a watch to tell time anymore, right? We all have phones. But a lot of people get the smartwatch, and I'm not really a big fan of the smartwatches. I don't really think there's anything I really, I guess if you have a job where you are, I don't know. I just never really saw the need for a smartwatch. Maybe if you get tons of texts and you really want to be able to look at that often, then great. But I don't know. But I do think if you're a techie person and your main reasoning for wearing a watch is to tell time, and you're not too concerned with getting your Facebook notifications, or can we just put the phone down for 5 minutes? It's like people want to put the phone in their pocket, but yet they need to. Don't get me on a tangent here. But I don't know. I think, again, if you're kind of a techie person and maybe a watch, you never really thought about getting it and wearing one, this might kind of bridge that gap and get you into watch collecting. So overall, like I said, very cool, very unique, very different. And I do appreciate the company sending this out to me. I'll definitely let them know my thoughts on this. They'll see the video, of course. And I just hope that some of these little gripes that I have with it, they'll make an improvement on maybe the next model. Because I do think it's important with all these lights. They might as well not have put the lights in, right? So, but very cool. Give it a go. Take a look. Let me know if I can help you guys in any way. As always, subscribe to the channel and take care.